welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Haunted Soulz podcast.
Hello, guys. Welcome
Welcome back.
Took last week off. I was not feeling it.
Lady problems.
Yeah, and also too, like, it really wasn't feeling it, and I really wanted to focus on today's podcast. So I was like, I don't think I'd have it 100% in it. So I was like, hey, can we push it back? So hello, everybody.
Hello.
How's everybody doing tonight? How's everyone doing?
Getting on there. Everybody's getting on.
I know.
No. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Oh, what a wonderful day.
Oh, man. My day has not been the greatest, but sorry.
Sorry to hear that. Why has your day not been the greatest?
Just things that happened at work, and then idiot drivers.
Amen to that one.
Almost got into an accident on Manchester past McKnight. You know how it's 4 roads, 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and there's no middle lane.
Right.
Well, someone that on the opposite side of me that was behind a metro bus and it stopped. They didn't want to stop, so they cut off the person in front, next to them, which caused that van to come over on the opposite side of the road and swerve and almost hit me. And I was like, okay, great. This is great, guys. I'm already having kind of a rough day.
I deal with it every day, all day long, Ubering. People are just idiots.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Idiots on the road.
Yeah.
They always try to everybody's in a hurry to get somewhere. And it's some of these people drive, this guy literally was floored it and tried to get around me because it turned into one lane and almost literally flipped his truck because he almost went up on the curb.
Idiot.
And stuff. I'm in the lady behind me would have been like, man, she's like, I should have had popcorn for that.
It's just crazy. Everyone's been, I think it's because everyone had to go back to work today, I guess. I don't know. But it's been crazy.
Today's election day. Let's go, Matt. Go vote for Matt for Mayor of Arcadia.
Yes. Hopefully he wins.
Hopefully he does win. He'll make a great mayor. Yeah. And I would just love to call him Mayor Matt.
Matt the Mayor.
Matt the Mayor. Make a shirt that says Matt the Mayor.
I heart the mayor.
Yeah. I heart the mayor. Have Matt's face on it.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
That is fun. That's hilarious. All right, let's see who's all in here. It's Kathy.
Hello.
And my sister Amelita. I don't think we're on the big screen because the Blues are playing, so we're probably on the phone. Yeah.
Sorry.
Jess Perez. Hello.
Hello.
We have Stevie's in the house. Hey, guys.
Hi.
We got Joe. Man, we got both.
Hey.
We got Joey and Stevie.
Full support.
Thank you. And Miss Bella, I was going to say, she better be here.
Oh, I know.
This is her.
She was probably so disappointed last week that we were like, hey, not going to do it this week.
We have, Papa Drew's on there.
Hello.
And we have the Miss Susan.
Hello.
And we got Miss Brandy. Hey, everybody. We found this case so interesting.
Yes. This case is crazy.
Hello, dear Jan. Greetings from Hollywood, California. Well, hello. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Miss Laura Kale. Hello.
Hi.
Bella says, love the background.
Yes, it was just a simple true crime background that I figured.
Hello, Miss Charlotte.
Do a little something. Hello, Charlotte.
This is Mama Drew's.
Hello.
We got Queen Sneaky Snake. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, Brandy says, yes, it would be an awesome.
He would be an amazing mayor.
Queen Sneaky Snake said, I was going to figure out how to cheat the system so I could vote for him. But sadly, I think it's illegal to vote for someone outside of your county.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but there's enough dead people in that town that you could probably just go to the graveyard and pick a name.
A name.
Yeah, just pick a name. Lady FT, hello from Chicago.
Chicago.
We got Hollywood and Chicago in the house.
Man.
Thank you very much for coming and watching.
Yeah.
Hopefully
we'll get some
keep
stragglers
you.
because it's a true crime episode. Everyone loves a true crime, so we're gonna get some stragglers that I don't think ever.
We won't get the
see
spooky dookie. Won't be on tonight.
No, they are at a
spooky dookie's at a father's
daughter dance.
So we won't have no spooky.
Yeah, it's all right.
Right.
But a couple things before we get into today's case.
Okay.
If everybody has seen, we did have a price drop with our tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie couldn't come up with a sound effect for that one. I'm like,
no, you didn't tell me.
Creativity.
Okay, well you can pass on the creativity. You can brainstorm here a little bit.
Okay.
So
I usually get dirty looks when I bring up something.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. All the time. Life is, it's expensive out there. Okay. And everyone deserves to have fun. Ghost hunting's fun. And we are struggling, everyone is struggling. So we thought if we bring the price down, maybe those people might be like, you know what, since the price dropped, I can, spend a little on myself and do something fun. So all tickets are now $75 across the board. So
even Missouri State Penitentiary.
So I don't think you're going to get it anywhere else with $75. So yeah, we had a price drop, which was as a team, as a company, we all decided that it was a good thing to do. And yeah.
Don't everybody go right out there and go buy your tickets all at once.
Our next event is Berlin Church and Rectory.
Hopefully.
So Wisconsin. It's not an untapped, completely untapped, but not
it's a new place.
But not a lot of people have gone in there. So I like to call it untapped. So and the last place that we went to that was untapped was pretty spectacular and pretty good, and it's kept its name. So I think y'all should come and investigate. So yeah. You okay there?
Yeah, I'll listen to you.
Oh, okay.
You're good. I'm sitting there listening to you. Didn't want to interrupt your thing. No.
But yeah. So that is what else we have. Anything new?
Trivia night still.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, announce that every night.
We're do.
Selling tables.
Yes. Quickly.
I'm getting tables that I don't even know the people.
No.
So that's a plus.
So if you and your team want a table at trivia night, make sure you get it kind of together now because
we
only limited.
So we were at. I really want to touch real quick about this. We were at the KC Metaphysical Fair this past weekend. We had some new items. Wow, was it kind of cool to get back in that whole
groove of
that whole circuit again?
Yeah,
we were out for like a year and a half, so
it's been a while.
Everybody was like, "Oh, you're in," and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been a year. Saw some guests. I had a lady come out and said, "Oh, I listen to your podcast every weekend." I'm like, "Every week?" I'm like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm usually doing something and you're on the background and stuff." I'm like,
so
really?
Hello.
I was like, hello. Yeah, if you're listening, hello. And everything. And then I was like, all right, since you came up and said something, I was like, I'll give you it. And she's like, no, not the Fluff Fluff Pass sticker. And I was like, yeah. So she got a Fluff Fluff Pass sticker.
That's cool.
I said, not everybody has one of those.
No, just our team and her.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No, a couple of other people they said, Annabelle, I had a thing written up that if you came to the KC Metaphysical Fair and came up and talked to us and said a secret word was barking dog. The secret word was Annabelle.
Yeah.
And I had two people come up, so they got like a can coolie and they got the Puff Puff or Fluff Fluff.
Puff Puff Pass.
Fluff
Pass.
Sticker and stuff. That whole family. if it wasn't for them on Sunday, we wouldn't have sold much. Literally.
You know, that happens to a lot. When you told me this, I like thought back of all the other families that have come over, and they do it like once. They're like, "Hey, we're just all gonna get something." And I'm like,
yeah, like the one girl had a gray,
mm-hmm.
one of the very first gray flannels that had the gray pack and the decal.
Oh.
And she was like, she had it on.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, see, I got one. I'm going to get 2 new ones. And she bought 2. And I was like, well, let me see your gray one. And I said, she's like, oh, the decal's coming off it a little bit. And I said, I was like, give me your hoodie. Mm-hmm. I said, give me your flannel and I'll take that off and put
the new logo on there.
So I got her shirt. Plus she bought 2 more. Her mom bought 4 shirts.
Yeah.
I was like,
dang.
She wanted to buy the Stitch.
Yeah.
And she's like, man, I want to buy the Stitch. I don't think it's going to be there when we get next time we see you guys and stuff. I'm like, they're one of a kind. I don't make all of them.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
She didn't buy one, but they bought some stuff. They bought a laser grid and they had all kinds. They bought some stuff. And they're like, can we come to this? Can we bring the kid to this one? I'm like, sure can. You can bring up the 13-year-olds up.
Yeah. Yeah. The only one that's the hard one is MSP. Because the actual place has age restriction. But
hello, ESP. I met Sarah Saturday.
You met?
Yeah, she came to the fair. I met
SPN.
ESPN.
ESPN.
Yes, I met ESPN.
Oh my god. Hi guys.
Yep. Hello. Yes, they got a fluff pass sticker. I gave her one. I was like, I've been trying to get my stickers out. I got the new, it's cool stationery. It's got skulls and stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I gotta get some stickers out. And I was like, instead of you mailing it, here you go. I just gave her some stickers.
Here you go. Just out
here you go. You've been long enough. She gave out a bunch to us. So
yeah. Sorry, we weren't watching the clock. You're totally okay.
Hey, you're fine.
You weren't. Dad wasn't either. He was not one. I was like, "You ready to go?" And he's like, "Oh."
I was trying to fill in my researches on this. But yeah, trivia night. Guys, got to get your table. Great night. It's going to be a fun night. Fun night. I talked about it a lot this weekend. A lot of people took flyers. They said that they wanted to do it.
We talked to our team about all the different ideas that we're going to do.
Yeah, so
it's going to be so fun. It's going to be. We're not going to spoil anything, but it's going to be a really fun night.
It was very great to meet you, Sarah.
Yes.
And stuff. Yeah. Open bar. We're going to have best snack.
Our whole team, basically.
The whole team is pretty much going to be there. You get to meet all the lovely people you see. If you don't know them, you see them in the chat all the time. They'll be there and stuff and everything. It's got some really cool. It's not going to be a extremely hard trivia. It's going to be competitive, but it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be hard. So.
I feel like it's one of those competitiveness where you're like, some of you guys are going to know the answer and some of you guys aren't. Where you're like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. And that's what gets that competitive to where you're not like, I have no idea. Like it's not one of those where every single question you're like, I don't know. Everyone should know at least one question in that, or 1 or 2 questions in that category. And that's for somebody that's maybe doesn't know anything a lot about trivia.
Bella says, I'm excited for trivia night.
Yes, it's gonna be just fun.
Flower killing. Well,
hello.
Yeah, Laura says buy a soul. We're working that out where you can buy one of the souls for a round to help you. Now, they don't know the answers.
No, and they might not.
They might know the answer by just them, but I'm not telling. No one's going to know the answers.
Nope.
Bella is super smart and great at trivia.
I don't know. I'm okay with some categories, but some I'm like.
Eric wants to buy the other Eric. It's like name the price.
Yeah.
Bella is super smart, competitive, and great at trivia. Buy a soul. Welcome, Paranormal Brew.
Hello, hello. But yeah, so
Welcome.
make sure you get your guys the tickets for that.
Yes.
They're the tables are buying up quick, and we only have a certain amount for the area that we're going to be in. So don't wait on them because they might not be available anymore.
Don't snooze or slooze. Don't snooze or lose.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't.
Are you okay?
Blanket over me. I'll be all right.
All right. I'm trying to think of what else.
What
Next
else is
event,
it? Next
tick
event.
drop.
Oh, you need to open up the raffle back up for the raffle tickets.
They should be up.
No, it's closed. But you can still buy raffle tickets for $10. Someone tried to buy one Saturday and it was closed.
Were they on the wrong one?
No, they were on the second one. They were showing me.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at it because that shouldn't be closed till at the end of this month. So that's why.
Yeah. Raffle tickets should be still up there. You can buy a raffle ticket, win two tickets to a night at Missouri State Penitentiary with a body cam for your footage all night long, and a 45-minute private investigation in the gas chamber to investigate any way you want.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All I gotta say.
That's right. Get on it. Buy the raffle tickets.
And if you're not going to buy a raffle ticket or you don't win, just a reminder that they are $75. So
Laura says it's closed. She tried look as well.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Maddie will fix it tonight. They'll be on her to-do list while she's eating her potato skins.
Yes. All right. So the real reason why everyone's here
is see me.
Is our true crime case for I don't want to say this month because we run out of weeks, but one of the ones that we're gonna have is for this month is called Kendrick Johnson case. Now I am going to show some things, but I am not going to show a lot of the photos that are like questionable. But I don't know the regulations or restrictions that you can show on YouTube. And for those who don't want to see it, I don't want to like put it up and then you see it and you didn't want it to. But if you are wanting to kind of, I want to say, get more deep and more dive into the story, what we're talking about, look up Kendrick Johnson case, and there is tons of photos. We'll be talking kind of about the photo, but if you want to see it for yourself, you can look it up. You can look up all the photos to see for yourself as we talk about them. But
yeah, there's some photos that they don't really hide nothing on this case.
No, but for me, I've seen a lot of true crime photos. It almost kind of puts in perspective of like there really is something else that they're not saying. It really is making you question on what the final say was of what happened. But all right, so Kenneth and Jackie Johnson gave birth to a beautiful, beautiful baby boy named Kendrick on October 10th, 1995. Growing up, Kendrick loved sports. He grew up in a loving home, very supportive home. Anything that Kendrick kind of wanted to do, his parents would find a way to do it for him. When he was 17, around the 17 age, he was really into wrestling, and I believe football was the other one that he loved, and he loved all kinds of sports. Basketball too. He loved sports. He loved playing sports. When people asked who he was as a person, they always said he'd always be smiling. He was very active, very friendly, kind of can go into any, he didn't cause trouble. He was not a troublemaker. He kind of kept himself. They said he was social, but he was kind of a homebody too. So he really he'd always be out playing sports. It was not common for him after school to be going out all night and playing sports, basketball, whatever. So at the age of 17, on January 10th, 2013, Kendrick wakes up like every school day, goes to school. He's in his classes. He goes in between classes. and it's changing. They call it the changing of the classes. So, between classes, he goes to the gym that he normally would do, and goes on about the day, everything like that. The next day, he does not come home. And I will say this, when I was, because you might be questioning how did no one notice he was gone. Like I said, he went after school. If he wasn't home, he was a very independent kid.
But okay. So here's the situation I was going to be. Let's tell them two different ones. I watched the documentary Finding Kendrick Johnson. I watched the documentary, and then I went through and watched a bunch of TikTok and different stuff. Maddie hasn't watched the documentary.
No.
So her perspective is from just research and case files.
Yes.
Mine is from the documentary, which I kind of cheated. They kind of gave you a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And everything on that. So,
but it seemed to work out for the Idaho 4 because it was different perspective, and we can talk about
so
things.
Just to let you know about the night of.
Yes.
So, because his parents are in the documentary and they talk about that. So they were already out looking for him. When he didn't come home by 10, because it was a school night, so he had to be home by 10 was his rule. So when you were right, like he would play out until 10 o'clock and he would be home.
Yeah.
So when he didn't get home, then that's when she called. They got the police involved, and the police didn't know nothing. They started, they said that, he wasn't there and stuff like that. They filed a police report. They were looking for him. His parents were out all night already looking for him.
But and this is what the document said, that they really weren't doing anything because it wasn't 24 hours yet.
Correct.
So they weren't. It wasn't like they were like investigating right away. They were.
No, it was just always like that. It's always the first 24
hours.
The kids like at a girlfriend's house.
Like they said, they were telling parents, he's probably out of friends. He's probably whatever. And they weren't really majorly. They were concerned, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like something like traumatic, like he's dead type of situation. That next morning, school's going in the morning, kids are in the gym. Kids start seeing something weird by the mats. They go and look, and they see a body rolled up in one of the wrestling mats.
Sitting vertical.
This, I know, right? So I'm going to show the photos. This is Kendrick. Notice his fatigue of his shoulders. He's not just some scrawny little kid that, can fit in a locker or anything like that. He had broader shoulders and everything like that. This is where, now I don't know because you watched the documentary, so it might be something, and we'll kind of go back to this, but the mat, the one that's laying on the floor that's blue in the back, that's the mat that they found him in. And then you can, if you want, you can look up a picture of what the mat looked like. You don't see his face, you see his feet. But he's in there in that photo right now. So that's where you can kind of see where people would be like, what's over there or anything like that. So when they find him, they do an autopsy, of course, and they say he died of
suffocation.
Suffocation. And
no, they said that he. So what they say.
Yes, that's what the coroner had said.
Right. They say it's an accidental. It was just it's a tragic accident.
Yes,
is what the police are saying. The police are saying that his shoe fell down.
Yes.
Into the mat, because they do have recollection. Kids do say that they threw their shoes up there into the mat, and then at the end of gym class, they would push the mat, and then somebody would swipe up all the shoes. Yeah. So
it says on here that the diagram, it shows you kind of this is what the police are saying. This is, and I can go down It says the school county, it's the county sheriff that put this out there. That because you said it too, like the cases said too, they just kind of like tossed their shoes up there. And so they said that he went to go look for the shoes, and it fell down. And
no, it was down there. They're saying that it was down there, and then that's when he went down in there to get his shoe. He went head first to get his shoe, when normally they go around and push the mat forward and get their shoes.
Yeah.
So if he threw his shoe up there, and if you saw that one picture, why is that one shoe over there?
Yeah. So this is what he's talking about. So the diagrams show what they're saying happened, right? So here's the question to pull apart.
They say he reached down. Now he reached down. He climbed up. He was on the vertical mat that's standing straight up.
Yeah.
He was on. He jumped up there, reached down in there head first to grab his shoe. Now, what person would jump? Look how high that mat is.
Now, I've tried to jump on these before.
Okay, that is a 6 foot tall mat. That mat is standing 6 foot tall. That's what they measured, 6 foot tall. So he jumped up on top of there to get his shoe that fell down in the hole. Now, the hole measures, that hole right there, that's right there on the mat laying on the ground, that hole measures 14 inches wide. Kendrick's shoulders were 16 inches wide. So he scrunched his shoulders up 2 inches and wiggled his way down at the bottom of the mat to get his one shoe. When he jumped up on 6 foot, up onto the mat, jumped up there, then proceeded to reach down when all you had to do was just tilt the mat forward and get a shoe. And then when he got down there, he got stuck, and they said that he got stuck and then he suffocated down there because he struggled and got stuck. Kendrick Lamar was 5'10".
Kendrick Johnson.
I'm sorry. I want Kendrick Lamar from basketball. I don't know why. Just going to say Kendrick.
Just say Kendrick.
Yes. Kendrick is 5'10". 5'10". The mat is 6 foot. His arms are at least 2 feet tall.
So you want to know what they also said on that police report? That his feet were sticking out.
But then when you see photos later on, his feet are like
sticking out.
Yes.
They're in. So
the photos they show you, we can't show because we don't know what
regulations are.
Regulations are with YouTube. Is a photo of him rolled up in the mat.
Yep.
And he's rolled up in the mat. There's another pair of shoes tossed in there with him.
Like tucked, like if he was laying on the mat, which his feet are like crossed over.
Yeah, his legs are twisted.
His legs are twisted. There's a pair of shoes tucked back like by his calves.
Yeah. So they say that they just tossed the shoes in there. The shoes were outside or something, and they tossed them in there.
Who?
One of the kids or one of the police, they just tossed it in.
Which again,
I'm just saying.
I get. Which also doesn't make sense because if the kids were there, why would you toss his shoes down in there if he was struggling? Not making sense. Okay.
Well, he was rolled up in the mat.
Yeah.
Because his feet were twisted in the mat. When they laid the mat down, his feet are twisted. How do you twist your feet when you're struggling? You don't twist your feet up. You're gonna and then how do you not use your weight to flip yourself? I mean, you didn't suffocate in like 30 seconds.
No. You stop breathing and usually you suffocate in 3 minutes.
So when his parents were notified, they only let his sister go in, and she had to identify him by his shoes. Yeah. So when they laid the mat down,
yep,
and they took crime photos, which you can see if you go on Kendrick Lamar's arm or Kendrick's arm, Johnson. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that.
Christ.
Kendrick Johnson's arm is like this in the picture, like it was tucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there's blood on his arms.
You can see bruising.
And there's blood like on the floor. Now, they put a shoe right there next to the blood where the opening of the hole is to say like that's the shoe he was going for.
Yep.
No blood on that shoe whatsoever.
No, just next to it.
No blood.
So even
if he was reaching in the mat
Mhm.
to get the shoe,
Yep.
and he bled, I don't know where the blood came from. I don't know why you would bleed.
If they were going to say, "Oh, well, your blood rushing,"
okay,
even
whatever.
At that,
right?
It would be
on
in
that
the shoe.
In that, if he was reaching for a shoe,
the amount of blood that was on his face too, and his arms,
it would be on the shoe.
It'd be on the shoe. It'd be in the shoe.
Now
there's the other shoe that's across the thing.
the other shoe's over there.
Yeah, you see it on the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other shoe. Now, also, there was another shoe in the gym that had blood on it. The police took the shoe. They say they took the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
They did DNA testing on the shoe, and it came back not Kendrick's blood.
Yeah.
Okay, so if there is a shoe in the gym
with blood on it,
would you not try to find out whose DNA that is?
Yeah.
And then why did it take 4.5 hours for a coroner to come get his body? If he was dead.
Now, another thing too, because it's so, and basically this half of this episode is going to be talking about everything that happened after, and the theories, and the talking about the evidence, because what I literally, the case, like when they say like, well, what about, that was what they said. They literally said, oh, he died from suffocation. That's it. It was plain and simple. That's what they're saying, but it's not.
Yes, a lot of police neglect.
Yes.
We'll go through it. Hey, there's Eric. What's up, Eric?
There's another thing.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. So
is he not coming up on?
And I will say there is. Just be careful. There are photos out there. They do show his face.
Oh, you are right. I missed that.
Huh?
There was blood on the wall too. Oh, sorry. There was blood on the wall, Madison. There was also blood on the wall next to the mats that they didn't test. They said it looked old. Well, when they took a picture of it, it sure did look red. It didn't look black like blood does.
If there's blood and it looked old, why would there be blood on a high school wall?
Well, here we go.
Which, by the way, they've redone the whole gym and everything.
Well, of course. But anyway, yeah, so, it took them like an hour and a half to say they were done.
Yeah.
They were done. It was an accident, and that was it. They didn't do a lot of investigating with it.
No.
They didn't talk to students.
There was no foul play.
There was no foul play. There was nothing and everything like that. It took the coroner 4.5, 5 hours to get there. Weird. They put him in the body bag, and you see. So that's one part of this whole. I don't know how to get into that one. So part of the whole investigation, but we'll do that after because I don't know. It's hard because when they go back and look for surveillance cameras.
That's what literally I was just about to talk about.
Okay, sorry.
Because everyone's like wondering, like, okay, is there in schools? There's cameras everywhere,
right?
Right. So I'm gonna pull this up. This is where the high school's gym surveillance. You can see the hallway in the bottom left, right? And you can see where the cameras are. There is a camera pointed right in that corner. There's a camera that's also pointing in another corner. There's also cameras that are pointing both ways in the hallway and at the door of the entrance of the gym. That is all the cameras that are there. Go ahead and what you were saying, because I don't know if you're going to say.
Yeah, when they go back to get surveillance cameras to see what happens, there's 4 cameras, like you said. Mm-hmm. One camera, they lose footage from like 12 or 11:40 to 1 on 2 cameras, and on the other 2 cameras they lose footage from like 11:20 or 10:30.
It's a staggered time.
Yeah, it's like 10:30 to 2 or something like that. It's really weird that miraculously these 4 cameras just
all stop.
Nothing. There's nothing there. All 4 cameras stop.
And there's no
But then
reports of an outage.
They come back
there.
on after one something, and you can see the police walk in and then walk out with the body bag on the thing. And like Bella said, yeah, they didn't wear shoe coverings. You can see they don't have shoe coverings on. They didn't they knew.
They went in knowing that it was.
They knew something else was going. I believe they knew something else was going, and that's what we're going to get into.
Because after this, right here at this point, this is all. No charges have been made.
Yes, hold on one.
So now this is all going to be theories, speculation, everything. I have to say that because
It said the body of Kendrick Johnson was discovered in the gymnasium, a high school, found head first in the center of the vertical rolled up wrestling mat. The body was discovered by fellow students who had climbed up on the top of the cluster of mats, which stood nearly 6 feet tall, 14 inches wide. An autopsy by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the GBI, stated that Johnson had died from positional asphyxiation, and the cause was ruled an accidental death by the county investigators. Authorities hypothesized that Johnson had fallen into the mat while looking for his shoe and died after being unable to get out. 3 students at the high school told investigators that it was common for some students to store their shoes behind or under the rolled up mats. Johnson was not wearing shoes when he was found. A student at the school said that she shared a pair of Adidas shoes with Johnson, and that after gym class, Johnson would always go to the mats, jump up, and toss the shoes inside the middle of the hole. I didn't hear about that one. That was different. So that was basically what it is. So the family goes and they get this information. The father, they don't believe it. The mother is distraught. The aunts come, they're distraught. They're figuring out what's going on. And then they tell them it's not, Well,
because they didn't even, I'm going to say this, they didn't even look at the lungs.
Well, no, I mean, they did. Well, before they did the autopsy, though, the father had to come. They let the father come and identify him. So this is what's really weird, too, is the father gets, that's later that night, the father gets to the coroner's office. It is hot. He's like, it is horribly hot in there. It is so hot in there, the room. And then he's like, well, I was feeling that I was so hot that when they opened the chest, he goes, I was waiting to feel a big gush of cold air because I'm hot. And he said all it came out was steaming hot air. So the refrigeration wasn't even working. And the body's been sitting in a body bag. So they pull the body out. And when they pull the body bag out, his arm is still like this up on his head. They didn't even put his arm next to his body. And you could see, because they show you the picture on this documentary you watch of his body in the body bag. And his face is beat to a pulp.
That's what I'm saying. There's photos out there.
Yes. His face his lip is split. Now, people could say, well, is the blood rushed to his head swollen up? It doesn't bust your lip.
No. You can, and I hate to say this, but I've seen what happens to the body when it starts, it swells up before it decomposes, correct? Everything gets swelled up and everything. That's too quick for that.
But yeah,
and that doesn't happen.
And the dad was like, no, that's not that's someone's beat my son up.
Yeah.
There's something wrong here.
The bruises on his arm too. You don't have, when you're going, that doesn't happen.
So they did an autopsy, nothing.
His lungs,
nothing.
Your lungs are heavy. They didn't even, here's the thing, I was looking up at reports. They didn't even weigh his lungs. They didn't look at his lungs. When you die from suffocation, your lungs get heavier and they become, they appear heavy, they look heavier, they become darker because they don't have the air and the oxygen that's going to them. They didn't even describe that on his autopsy.
Yeah, I mean, and then
so that would be suffocation. They couldn't even do that. for what his cause of death was.
So they did this, and they buried the body. They had a service, and they buried it. The parents were very upset.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back. We're going to go back into this because this is not a normal town.
No.
So before we get any further, let me come back to.
I don't think they do a second autopsy.
Well, let's go back to this first before we do that, before they get in.
What? That's
the different thing. I'm going to talk about the history of this town.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. So this town is not very good. It has a documented history of several racial violence, most notably the 1918 lynching of 11 plus African Americans, including they were all lynched for protesting or following the killer of the white planter. The region has been subsequently controversies such as the 2013 death of a black student finds at the gym mat with his family maintains. So in 1918, 11 men were killed, hung on a bridge, because they say that this plantation owner used to do horrible things and they killed him. That's what they say. So then the most horrific thing about all that was, so following the death of a planter, Hampton Smith, white mobs lynched at least 11 black people in the Valdosta, Loudoun County area. So the one lady, her name was Mary Turner. She was lynched on May 19th, 1918, after protesting her husband's death, because her husband was in one of those of the 11 that they killed.
Okay.
She was protesting, and they lynched her, and she was pregnant. They cut her baby out, like cut her stomach, and then hung her, and her baby fell out. And then they proceeded to like step on the baby's head and smash.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And this was all in this town. And there's multiple other racial things. The town is 65% African American and 45% white. And not one law, one governing mayor, governor, something is ran by a black person. The white people run all politics and judges and everything in this town. And it's crazy that it's a predominantly, African American city.
Yeah. But
the least amount, they all have control and how things go in that town.
Crazy.
And it's just in the area. So there's that. There's also a thing called Emmett is right there. Emmett Till.
Which is
so what I'm telling you about this is that this other person in town called Emmett Till, he was targeted by a white lady in 1955. He was murdered by this lady's husband and his brother-in-law. She said that he sexually tried to grab her, tried to do something. He lived in Chicago. He was down visiting family. And this lady.
This was during the civil rights.
Well, this is before. This is right before, because this is what started it.
Yeah.
This is one of the big cases that started it, and this is why I'm going to tell you what to do with this. Give me a second. Just give me a second.
Well, I know Emmett Till. I'm just saying.
All right. So anyway, Emmett was killed. 2 white men killed him.
Yep.
They got off. They admit to killing him. They threw him off the Tallahassee Bridge into the Tallahassee River.
Yep.
They got off. They celebrated they got off. They had a party and everything. And then to come to find out, years later, the lady redacted her story and told her that she actually lied. Now, what brings me to all these people is they showed the murder and the hangings of. So people didn't really realize how bad these lynchings and stuff were going on until they started posting. There was these 2 little young boys that also got killed back in 1906 or something. And no one knew about it until they posted on a picture of actually how they're with their nooses around their necks. Still, they posted their picture in the newspaper. The city became a little uproar. Emmett Tillman, same thing. They had an open casket. They showed his face, how he was beaten and hung and stuff, and it was on the newspapers, and it got national, and that's what started the civil. That's what the case that started the civil rights. One of the civil rights. It sparked the civil rights movement.
It made
Tillman's image and his murder would act as a catalyst to spark the civil rights movement. Yeah, so when they saw his image on the newspaper. So Kendrick's mom and dad knew researched all this, so that's why they took and posted his pictures in the newspaper. In the news. They were showing them things because they thought, hey, let's get this out get this out, and maybe people will, go cause an uproar, which it does. It causes an uproar. The Attorney General, hold on, what's his name? Michael Moore, takes the case. He is the attorney for he's the attorney for the Middle District of Georgia. He was the federal investigator. Yeah, he was the federal investigator that they signed after they did this. They saw he was a U.S. attorney for the Northern District of Georgia, Middle District of Georgia. He took the case. They said, okay, let's open this up. Let's look at everything. Let's do all of this. And they were they started doing interviews. They started talking to, because the father says, so basically, it also goes back to, they said, well, who did it?
Well, before that, they did the autopsy.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on. No, go on.
Well, so they did the autopsy and they found out that it wasn't suffocation. And that's what it uprose even more, because they were like, okay, so the autopsy wasn't even the first time.
Well, the second autopsy showed that his organs weren't there.
Yeah.
They were gone.
Yeah.
And that his and that's when they did the he was filled with newspaper. They filled him through it. They filled him full of newspaper.
Yep.
And then they did the autopsy. The independent autopsy found that sometime after Johnson's body was recovered from the mat and had passed through the funeral home, it had been stuffed with newspapers. The funeral home that processes the body following the FBI's autopsy stated that they never received Johnson's internal organs from the coroner. The organs were said to have been destroyed through natural process and discarded by the prosecutor before the body was sent back to the coroner, to the funeral home. That left a void which the funeral home filled. The owner stated that this standard of practice is to fill a void in this fashion, and the cotton or sawdust may also be employed for his purposes. So that autopsy guy weighs the lungs. Lungs are, if they get suffocated, the lungs are supposed to be,
they're supposed to be heavier,
like double the pound, like 16 pounds or something. And when they weighed Kendrick's, there were 8. So they ruled out he didn't suffocate. Then they found bruising on his neck.
And they ruled it out that what ultimately killed him was blunt force trauma.
To the neck, yes. So now the Georgia Attorney General gets a case, says, okay, he sees this. They say, okay, we're going to do this. They talk to some parents. They figure out, okay, who's he got a problem with?
They start investigating people.
They start investigating people. So then they find out
there was an issue with, and this was their number one suspect, Brian Bell. Now, there had been some altercations beforehand with Kendrick and Brian that ultimately involved his brother Brandon as well. He got involved, as well as his dad, Rick Bell. Now, there was an altercation before this all happened on a bus. and they had wind up getting into a fist fight. And Kendrick, he won.
Beat him up.
He beat him up. And Bell did not like that. His brother did not like that. And his dad for sure did not like that. And his dad was a part of the FBI. Now, the Bell's family had been in that town for a while. His dad grew up in that town. So the Bells were prominent in that town as well. Now, Brian Bell was also into football. And he liked sports as well. He was actually supposed to be a part of FSU, and he got denied. But there was an altercation on the bus, and there had been, they found out that there had been some, now correct me if I'm wrong, it's the dad or the brother told Kendrick, well, why don't you, it wasn't a fair fight, why don't you come to the house?
Yeah,
We
so
can make it fair.
So it was the fight happened, and Kendrick beat him. Kendrick got the best of him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendrick told his dad. He said that Mr. Bell came to school and told him, came to school and said, "Hey, it wasn't a very fair fight. You know, maybe you should come. You should come to my property, and we can make this right, and it can be a fair fight." And Kendrick just walked away from him. Didn't even say nothing. His dad's like, well, "What'd you say?" He's like, "I just walked away."
Yeah.
There was no other inkling. There's no video of that. Nothing like that. But that's what his father says that Kendrick had said to them, which was weird. And then if you watch the documentary, they do talk to Bell, Brandon, and Brian. And they asked Brian in the video, they asked him, "Did you do something to Kendrick? Did you fight? Did you beat?" And he kind of looks down and is like, "No." He don't look at the camera. And then he's like, "Did you see Kendrick at all the day of his death?" And he looks and he says, "No, I never saw him that day."
Because they were classmates.
Right. And they said he never saw him.
Now, Brandon has an alibi. I don't know how strong this is, but they rule him out because they said that they both had alibis. That Brian was somewhere else in the school when it happened, and Brandon was on a wrestling, out in a wrestling match or wrestling tournament. That he wasn't even at school.
Right. And it also comes to find out too when they do the interview that apparently Kendrick was having sex with his girlfriend, with Brian's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And that's another, she had told Brian that they had sex, or that's another thing that's going out that would fuel him to maybe beat his ass or whatever like that. But the attorney general, Michael Moore, they had all this after interviews and everything. They raided this gentleman and these kids' father's house. They raided their house. They had it. They had a case. They had it, and all of a sudden, nothing. Nothing happened. The one FBI agent, which is was a African American, he was released. He's in the documentary. He's like, "We were told nothing. Cases," and come to find out, Michael Moore, the attorney, dismissed himself from the case, and later has a private practice in a law firm in Valdosta.
Huh.
Yeah, he starts having his own practice.
That's weird. Coincidental. Coincidence. Also, there's another thing for the evidence of Bell lying is Brian is seen on camera in that hallway where those cameras are. He is seen going with in the right side, it is Brian. And the thing that's circled, it looks like it almost could be blood on his jacket. He goes out of frame, and the next time he comes back, he has a whole brand new outfit. New pants, new shirt, and the bag has clothes in it.
Yeah, I mean, eventually.
So he's not in class, what they say. He's all the way across school. He was in class, blah, blah, blah. He's clearly not in class. And it's, I believe this is around the same area that closer to the gym than what the cops were saying and why they ruled him out. Yeah, they said that's the reason why they got let go, is because they said that they both had alibis, they were not involved, and that was it. Now, there's a video in that documentary that you were talking to me about, and it shows, because Brian was asked, like you said, did you see Kendrick at all? And he says no. In the video.
Yeah, so they find. So later on in the documentary, they release the parents do some more stuff, and it's then it was given to the Northern District of Ohio Attorney General came because they wanted some from and then he resigned also in the middle of the case, and it's like, but they're finding things, and they had a report, and the report has like these files on it, and it comes to find out it's pieces of camera footage that was never released that shows walking in the gym, Bell walking in the gym, and stuff like that. And Bell had said that he had never seen Kendrick at all. And there's a frame in there that they're standing next to each other outside of the gym, standing next to each other. He did see him. He literally was like me and you standing there. He saw him. And that other footage. Yeah, and then the other footage shows that he changed his clothes. Why did he have to go change clothes?
If he was if he was in class or whatever across the thing, why would you need to change clothes? You're not going to the gym because they're saying that you don't have gym class. It's true.
Yeah.
When the people.
Oh, sorry.
When the people in charge are also the offenders, that's a problem. That's why sex offenders get such light sentences. Yeah. His dad winds up resigning from the FBI.
Yeah, I mean, why do you resign? Because I think they told him that you need to resign. They know his kids did it.
Yeah.
This town is a shitty town. It's called Finding Kendrick Johnson, and I watched it. It's on Amazon Prime. You still have to pay for it, and it was on Fandango, like home thing. You had to pay for it. I watched it for free with ads on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yep. It's called Finding Kendrick Johnson. It's really good. It shows you a lot about the family, and it takes the family's perspective of this thing.
Yeah.
So, but it's just weird that like they had witnesses. They had one witness that says that he was at a party and not Brian Bell, but Brandon Bell, the brother, was there and spouting off that he's tired of having to cover for his brother, that his brother did kill Kendrick, and he's tired of covering from him and everything, and he's done with it and wants to tell the truth. That man gets arrested. He's in jail for a long time, like 4 to 6 months.
That's crazy.
And then he comes out of jail and he recants his story. There's another lady that gets that has a story about, Kendrick and stuff, and Brian doing something or saying something, and all of a sudden
she recants.
She recants because police were going and talking to these people. The father was going and talking to the witnesses. The father of the two boys was going to these people and talking to those witnesses.
Yep.
Why would you talk to witnesses? If your sons didn't have nothing to do with it.
Why?
why would you even invest yourself to do it if your sons were?
Because they did. So, like I said, this happens, right? The case gets closed. And so Brian was supposed to go to a full ride scholarship for football at FSU. The public finds out about it. The public and the FSU drops him because of all this. So guess what they do? They file a lawsuit against the parents for doxing or defamation.
And win.
They won that lawsuit.
The parents had to pay him like $290,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
The parents got like $100 million lawsuit against the state and all this stuff. And the judge told them they didn't have a case. Oh, no, that's what it was. The judge said they didn't file for the parents. They filed for them, and they had to pay them $290,000. So now the parents are suing the judge for $100 million and stuff. And yeah, Kathy, the case was open again. And his body was exhumed a third time or a second time. The parents did an autopsy again and come to find out he had bruising on his ribs also that they found. So he had bruising on his ribs and side, and he had bruising on his neck from blunt force trauma. Both injuries were from blunt force trauma.
Yes. Yeah, because after this happened, his parents, and still to this day, his parents both advocate for him, and they are still trying to get help to this day. They actually did help lead, like you just said, they helped lead a reopening in 2021. Investigation's kind of, it's not a complete closed case. It's kind of, they said it's kind of a reopen in some sense, but it's not completely reopened to where they're actively investigating. A federal lawsuit was filed in 2023 for evidence cover-up, which is what they filed the federal lawsuit for. It was dismissed this year in 2026. And they haven't found anything more. Nothing's come out recently about it or anything like that. But yeah, it's definitely a cover up, because why would you, like you just said, why would you get so involved if you're completely innocent?
Yeah. Brandy says on the paranormal aspects of there was a spirits box that said he was beaten and stomped and kicked with boots.
Wow. Yeah. It just doesn't.
Yeah, he says, so can they not address this to the upper court? I think the problem is that they
can't get to the upper court.
They can't get to the upper court because that court is saying there's no foul play.
No. The state's not saying foul play, so if the state's not saying it, then
yeah. Every time they've gotten an attorney general or attorney to come from the bureau or whatever, it just falls through. Nothing happens to it.
Yeah.
They did have one, but he backed out too. Hold on a second. I'll tell you that one right now. Yeah. So, Attorney Benjamin Crump represented families in several high-profile civil rights cases, including those of Michael Brown and Trayvon Martin, is no longer representing the Johnsons' parents. In the October 29th letter, Crump informed Jacqueline and Kenneth Johnson that his firm would be unable to continue his legal representation in coordination with their lead attorney, Siobhan King. Crump says that the State Bar of Georgia did not grant him special permission to represent the Johnsons beyond the initial pleadings to acquire surveillance recordings from Lowndes County High School, where Johnson was found in. So yeah, they don't civil right, not even a civil rights person.
No. The state shuts them down.
Yeah.
The town and state shut them down because they know. Here's the thing. This case has gotten such a big cover up that if they let something slip that it was and they have proof that it was a cover up, everyone's going down. So now that they're like saving each other's butts because they know, like the state and the state courts, they know if that town goes down, they are also going down. And they know that if one gets caught of a cover up, they are all going down. So now everyone's trying to save themselves. And it's crazy. Every time, and like you said, they try to get somebody that wasn't in the state of Georgia, and it happened the same thing. They said that they can't follow through. Yeah.
It's just, yeah, they don't have.
And not a lot of people know about this case.
Yeah, I asked people, and they're like, "No, I never heard about that."
And it's such a.
Yeah, so the autopsy guy says it was a homicide.
Yeah.
Their autopsy person says, and it's just weird. It's just how people recanted, and it's such weird. It's like I was watching this and was like, "What the hell, man?"
Yeah. So when I first got into true crime, that's when I first heard about this case. It was one of the first true crimes. You know, you see the Black Dahlia and you know all that. I learned about this case like the same week I learned about the Kitty Cabin murders. I remember. And the first photo that got me questioning was the photo of him in the mat. Because you know what the first question I asked was? Why the heck is his shoes not on his feet? And thrown in the mat with him. You know, that was my first question. And ever since then, like when Bella was like, you should do this case, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I forget about it. But it's such a sad, because he was 17, something bad happened in that gym, and there was not enough people helping him.
And this is also, I just found this. It says on March 10th, 2021, the case was officially opened by Lowndes County Sheriff Ashley Polk. Polk put up $500,000 reward of his own cash for information leading to the conviction of anyone who killed Kendrick Johnson. According to Polk, he and two other investigators poured through the case for 13 months before coming to his conclusion. In January 2022, the second investigation was closed with no charges filed. Polk released a finding saying there was no homicide, no cover-up, no conspiracy. In January 2013, death of the teen. It was simply a tragic and bizarre accident. Polk stated that he would not be claiming there was something wrong with the original investigation or that the original investigation's conclusions of an accidental death was wrong. The sheriff also stated he does not consider the case to be a homicide. He further stated that two brothers named in previous legal actions by the Johnsons are not suspects. So in 2021, it was reopened again, but it's by that county. That it has to be, if you want something, it has to be done outside of the county.
Outside the state at this point.
Yes.
Because Georgia's not. Again, like I just said, if that county is going to go down, the state's going to go down too, and they're not wanting that. It's so corrupted. This case is so corrupted that no one is they're not going to say anything because they know they're going to get in trouble because it's such a bad cover up. And his family, who are trying to get justice and trying to figure out what's going on, because clearly things aren't lining up, the autopsies aren't lining up, and You know, it just doesn't make sense. How come? And again, going back to the surveillance videos, if they were able to get that file of the missing video of Belle with Kendrick, then I know somewhere there is that camera that is pointing towards that corner, and you see what happens somewhere.
Okay, this is crazy too. Well, yeah,
I
it's
feel for
somewhere.
the family. I'll never get justice for a lot of things in my life. These people think we are all stupid and injustice hurts, but eventually someone will want to make a name on this case. Yeah.
This is kind of cool. It says Johnson's classmates, 2 or 3 responses are unnamed. Okay, so in 2015, Johnson's family filed a $100 million civil lawsuit in the Superior Court of DeKalb County against 38 individuals. Responses include 3 of the Johnsons' classmates, 2 or 3 responders are unnamed, and local and state and federal officials. The school superintendent of the county, the crime lab, the police chief, many chief's deputies, the city of Valdosta, the state medical examiner, the GBI, and 5 of its agents, and 1 FBI agent.
Mm-hmm.
The lawsuit alleged that the FBI agent ordered his 2 sons and a classmate to attack Johnson, that his death was a murder, and that the respondents engaged in a conspiracy to cover up the homicide. Jim Elliott, the county attorney, stated the allegations were unfounded and baseless, and that any response would be made in court. All local Superior Court judges recused themselves from presiding over the case, preventing the lawsuit from being filed and heard in the county, citing their close proximity to the accused.
So they're not even allowing the case to be in their courtrooms.
No, they're all recanting on them, so they don't want no judge wants to be the judge on the case because they're all saying that they're close to proximity to the accused. They named like the whole city. They just said, okay, we're just gonna name all of you bastards.
And I really do think it was that their dad says, well, you need to take action and you need to get him back, fight back. And I think it just went too far. Someone, whether it be Brian or Brandon or whoever, if it was Brian, another friend or whatever, I don't know, but someone hit him in the back of, because where they say it was the neck, but you got to think, if you're hitting a major, thing back there, it could kill you. And I think they hit it. They think they hit it, and he went down, and they panicked. And I think it was just a fight gone wrong. And sadly, it's gonna take a lot longer than it should have. I hope one day that someone is able to get justice for the family and Kendrick, but as long as the people in that town are still under the influence of the people that were involved, then I don't think it's going to happen right now until that happens.
Yes, you just research. But you probably put that up there. Sorry.
No, you're good. It sometimes happens, and it just with an agenda.
Yeah, there's no statute of limits. Oh, that's what this case is. The guy found in a rolled up hat. That can't be accidental. Yes, he did roll. Yeah, he rolled himself up there.
Yeah. And again, I would say if you're able to and you're comfortable with it, look up the photo because it does not make sense at all. The way his body. I was
thinking he got jumped by multiple people. Yeah, I think so too. It's just weird. To me, the whole time that this happens, it's lost footage.
Yeah.
That's just.
And again, for those people that just got in here,
It's crazy.
There's a camera pointing right to that corner. There is a literal camera pointing right to that corner.
Yeah, and it's gone. The missing footage from that time is gone. So why? I mean, yes, Paranormal always been, but is there? Yes.
Yeah.
It's just he definitely got jumped.
Yes. Whether it happened in that gym or happened in the bathroom or happened whatever, something happened in that corner, whether it be that's where the fight happened or somewhere else, but in that footage of that corner, I have a feeling you see that mat come down, them all in there, and they roll him back up.
Well, they roll him up. They probably beat his ass, and they roll him up and put him in the mat, because they don't want no one to find him. And then they put him upside down, which then the blood does rush to the floor. His shoe is not in there. I'm telling you right now, that shoe is not in that hole.
No.
That shoe was placed there.
Yeah.
Because there is no blood. If you watch the documentary or look at the shoe filings, you'll see that there's a huge...
There's a photo of the shoe online.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see a big pile of blood, and then the shoe is laying right next to it.
But there's no blood
on it.
On the sole of the shoe, a drop, nothing.
It's crazy. And then the footage is missing. 4 cameras footage. I can see 1 camera.
Like it'd be down.
4 cameras.
And then the footage that they did find, it was a bell being right by him. So why is that footage gone missing and recovered of Bell being there? It just...
Yeah, it's just... there's a lot of cover-up.
Oh, my gosh.
A lot of cover-up.
I
was thinking he was face-to-face with the Bell kid, and they were arguing, and someone came up behind him and hit him in the head. Once he was down, they beat him to death. Yes.
Yeah. There was definitely an argument, and...
They hit him in the neck, and probably that came from behind, right here. Because that's where he was bruised and stuff. So they probably hit him there, and he was like, and then he went down, and then they proceeded to beat him.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But
he was dead before they rolled him up in that.
There's stuff that I'm missing. I should have wrote notes when I was watching the documentary. It's just some of the things, like the parents didn't get any recognition until they actually chained themselves, or they hooked themselves in front and wouldn't let nobody in the court. It was funny too. They did. I mean, his parents are out there all the time.
They are.
And they believe that if they showed his picture, like what he looks like, that they would get some attention. And it did get attention. But it's like every time someone takes a step to the right way to do this,
something comes.
They either blackmail them or they tell them they got something on them. And they recanter, or they dismiss themselves.
FBI was involved in this case too. So there was.
Yeah, and then why do you have to resign?
Yeah, makes no sense. And he was FBI for a while.
Yeah, and then he had to resign. He resigned right after
right
after this.
Like right when they started, he didn't resign when. I can't remember. I think he resigned right before it came out that they were starting to talk to suspects and everything. Or it happened because it was a short window of pretty much everything kind of going on about them doing a second autopsy and them. It went by so quick, and then now there's like nothing.
This chat scratches an itch. I'm incensed with injustice and true crime. Well, you have to watch the movie. We're going to do it at least once a month.
Yeah, we try to do true crime once a month.
Oh, look, Lodi's in.
I don't understand. Like,
the fact that they didn't look into the camera issue is mind-boggling. School isn't on it too. Yes, that is right. The school is. Why? My thing is, no one checked the camera. Why is there missing time?
For 4 cameras. That doesn't make any sense.
It's 200 and like, don't like.
And here's the thing. It is, and this doesn't. Here's another thing to think about. This doesn't happen like after school. This doesn't happen like when there's barely anybody at the school. This happened between class changing. There was a little bit of a break, and this happened during that. This happened during the day at school. You know?
You can't tell me that no one saw two kids beat up another
They
kid.
did.
Roll them in the mat and stand them up.
They didn't probably see him rolling up on the mat, but they probably saw that fight go down.
And to this day, no one is saying nothing.
No.
She says, I'm working on a Dorothea
Prevent video. I used to live a couple blocks away from the house. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
I think you might need to write that one down.
Let me write it down. Hold on, I got a list.
What's up, Castle Rock?
Hello.
I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I know that when we did the Idaho 4 one.
I gotta watch the video. I didn't get a chance to watch it last night. I'll watch it today.
I know and the Idaho 4 was a lot more intense. We're both like, no, this is what happened because we don't know.
We're both on two opposite of things. You're saying it was multiple people.
This one's clear as day.
This one's cover up.
This one, there's no other.
Court dismissed.
The door. Yeah. Pruitt. That's how I see it. All right, I will look that up. And we'll put it on there.
Puente. You got that?
Yeah.
She ran a boarding house for vulnerable people. Sounds like that lady that used to kill their people's catch their Social Security checks and killed all those males.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, school cops and court officials all the cover up in this one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
This is like I know we're not going to get it for a while, but I would hope that one day we can actually know all that's going on. Kendrick deserves it. I mean, no one should when you're going to school, and you're going to play basketball and doing the thing that you do every single day of your life, you should not have to be. And the fact that like he was in a mat, he was in a wrestling mat, and
that was 14 inches wide, and your shoulders are 16 inches.
And and the sad part is he loved wrestling. And
how do you get your?
You don't until you're.
Reach down. My fat ass. First of all, my fat ass can't jump up.
No, first of all, you would never do that because you're claustrophobic.
Yeah. I freak out when I watch videos of these guys climbing on their bellies in caves. I'm like, no.
Well, it
ain't happening to me.
Well, first of all, you can tell something's different with this mat because look at the mat that he's in on the floor and look at the other mats, how close they are rolled up.
Uh-oh, we got another one. Our lists are getting big. Laura said, we need you all to do Cassidy Rainwater.
Hold on.
Talk about her cover-ups. Cassidy Rainwater. See, you guys give us the cases and we do them and we'll talk.
I don't care, yeah. So look at the mat that he's in on that blue one on the bottom. Right there. Look at how big his gap is. Look at the other one. Other gaps. Other mats that were around him. Those aren't big. When you roll up a mat, now I will say I've seen these mats before. I have them at my gym at my high school, right? That's how they're normally rolled up. They are rolled up to get as tight as they can. That way they can fit that band around them to not have them move. You would not have a mat that has that big of a gap, and you wouldn't roll up a mat that big. Mm-hmm. And that's why when other people said, "Oh yeah, all the kids sometimes put their shoe back there," and you push out the mat, because you can't get down in there. because the mats are so rolled up. You know?
Oh, that's where you were at. She said, do the Cassidy rainwater case and the whole town of Wendyville, Missouri.
Wendy.
Wait a minute. Cassidy rainwater, is that?
Hold on, I'm gonna look up.
That is the, wait a minute. Is that the one that she was murdered up the road from the general store by a family or something?
Missouri.
Look, it's Spooky Dookie.
Oh, hello.
How was the dance?
That's kind of briefly.
Well, he said that Matt would
she was locked in a cage.
That Matt would have tipped over if he climbed up there to go down into the mat to get his shoes, and he could have very easily moved around in the mat to tip it over. Yeah, we were. I was saying that earlier. I was like, yeah. I mean, once you can start putting your weight and your body into it, you're going to get that. Yeah, you're going to get that.
Heavy. Now they're heavy mats. Don't get me wrong. They're heavy, but well, and also too,
quarantined and frozen in a freezer.
Also, so
at the place that you investigated,
you can clearly look. So in the report, right? They said that his feet were dangling out, right? Well, the mat that's on the right, you can see that his feet aren't dangling out; that they're all the way in the mat, correct? So if you're looking at the mat, and they said that he got stuck at the bottom, right? If he's stuck and he fell all the way at the bottom and couldn't get out, his hands. If he's reaching down, just putting their perspective on it. If his hands are all the way down, reaching down, his hands are on the ground. You could. That's even more level.
Yeah,
you can easily, but that's not what happened. So
once again, the easiest thing to do is walk over the mat and get your shoe.
Yep, just like everybody else had done. That's what they said, that it was a common thing. That everyone did it. So yeah, this one was. It was definitely.
It's a lot. I mean, if you go back, they talk about a lot of history. That this town is very racist. It was one of the very racist towns there was. It is on the most southern border of Georgia, going into the Panhandle.
Yes.
And stuff. So it's bad.
In my history class,
people think, well, that stuff don't happen no more. This is 2021, 2026.
No,
things like that. That shit does happen. That town's always been that.
No.
That town's always going to be like that.
Because of generation.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, so the Bell's family, the dad grew up. Kendrick and Brian were born in 1995.
So true.
So I know dang well that his Rick Bell grew up in the 70s. Civil rights was only happening in 1960s. So you're going to tell me that his granddaddy wasn't alive still? And so it's definitely, that town is, it's still like that.
That's good.
That I'd be interested to know what safety precautions the school has taken with the mat now. If it was an accident, like they say, they should have them stored like this now. This school is so new. It's crazy. It's like, now it's not like a big town, right? This town is not gigantic. I'm gonna look up I'm gonna show you this new
built this city.
I'm just gonna say right now,
built this city on.
They got some money from somewhere.
Blood.
They got some money somewhere from somebody because this school is
The city was built on
crazy.
cover-ups and
We save image. Downloads. Let me actually look at the gym now too. Now I get it all from this only happened in 2013. Well, yeah, hold on, let me see. Keep going. Keep talking while I do this.
oh, I was playing with my eyebrows.
And then you're good. Just,
Let's see. Mr. Dukes, you look shocked. He was like a sharp-dressed man.
I'm trying to see if you can see the other side.
Hey, Spooky, so they were singing to your girlfriend? If anybody wants to know, Steven Drews used to date Taylor Swift.
Yeah. He has a picture to prove it.
He has a picture to prove it. Steve,
Yes.
why don't you send us that picture so we can put it up?
Oh my God, stupid thing.
Madison is,
What?
I don't know.
You said Madison is what?
The good old days.
I can't, for some reason, StreamYard's being weird and it's not letting me. I downloaded it, but it's not letting me add it. Look up Lowen's High School, and the pictures are crazy. It's completely like redone. For a small town, that's pretty crazy. But thanks for other things. I know, Steve. We finally did a podcast, and you didn't have to do laundry today.
He said Steve likes to insert himself into places where he doesn't belong.
Ooh.
He like it.
But yeah, so that was the case of Kendrick Johnson.
Anybody else have any questions?
Anybody else have any theories, questions, or anything
Concerns?
like that?
I'm very concerned for Madison.
Me? Why? What did I do? I'm so lost. Okay, can I see her real quick? Can I see her right? This is what the other day I came downstairs. This is probably going to be more of our banter. You hit your camera. At least you didn't hit mine.
Hello, Madison.
This is how she sits. So I come downstairs right earlier to grab something, and this is how I found her. She's attached by a little thing right
Don't
here.
pull her off.
I'm not, but she's basically bald. And
more creepy now. She's bald.
Imagine her just bald.
Hello, Madison.
Does she even work now? She still not work?
I don't know if you put batteries in her.
Oh, I ain't putting batteries in her. No, hell no.
You gotta put batteries in her butt.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that all dolls though? They all like a little bit. Oh, sorry. I messed with her hair. She's fine. It doesn't help her looks anyways. But
get the hair out your eyes, little girl.
Ew, her hair. She needs to get a brush or something.
Get your hair out of your eyes, little girl.
Yeah.
Easter Billy. Who the heck is Easter Billy?
Easter Billy on our page. Did y'all see Easter Billy on our page? I'm not gonna lie, I have not been on Facebook.
Well, he says there's some shitty extension she has.
I know, right? Jeez.
What kind of dolls do you make?
I make dolls.
For
some reason, my thing is like I can't see the comments when they pop up on the side.
Sorry. Let's tip the haunted doll upside down and criticize her. Good idea, Maddie.
Hey, I'm on one today. It's okay.
So it says, I'm making a Dorita doll with a So yeah, from Golden Girls crochet pattern.
Oh man.
I need a doll. He didn't make me a doll. Like my mom said, my theory is he was beat up by a group of boys. Then the two boys' dad paid off a bunch of people and just overall, yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
100%.
Yo, Spooky, this is the passenger that you had in your Uber, and I was telling you about my life experience with the paranormal. No, that would be me, correct? I'm Dan, not Spooky. Unless Spooky's doing Ubering, but that would be me, correct? I was your driver, right?
Oh man. I'm making a
Well,
line of spooky
Isabel,
rag doll right
you
now.
can send me. You can make me a spooky rag doll. I'll put it up there on the podcast.
Speaking of podcasts, we're thinking about changing it maybe next year. Maybe next
I think we
season.
need to change it sooner.
You think so?
Yes.
I mean,
Do you guys like us sitting at the desk, or would you like us sitting in a chair talking to each other?
like a little powwow.
Like a little powwow. You can see this. Like an old time we used to do.
Like I would have my chair and my side and have my stuff, and Dad would have his side and his stuff. It'd be set up differently than what we did last time, but we'd be sitting down in.
You're fine, man. You're all good. Thanks for coming and looking and watching.
Yeah. We'd be sitting on just comfy chairs and talking. And I don't know. It'd be kind of nice because I don't have to roll around and I could just kind of sit and be comfy a little bit.
Nice. Laura says, chair.
Chair.
Jeff says, I like the old way.
Us just being comfy.
Us just being comfy in a chair.
Yeah. No, we'd still have our cameras, still have our mics, still have all that, but it would just be set up differently. I wouldn't have to get on my dad about hitting my camera or hitting the table.
Well, if you do, or how much are they? Let me know. Get comfy.
I know, right?
Yes. I like my chair from there. I researched those chairs and bought Maddie and I nice big fluffy comfy chairs.
Yeah. Well, yours was leather. I don't know about comfy.
But still, I think we should. I think
we
the
should
chair
bring
setup
yours.
would be nice.
Yeah. I think I would like to get the same looking chairs, but just like you would like a black one, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to send it, and I'll free advertise their shit on.
Oh yeah. As much as I don't like dolls, I'll support.
Steve says, as long as the Highland cow is in the background.
It's not gonna be. I might have to do something different with the Highland cow. I don't know if y'all can see it. This picture frame's gigantic. And I don't know if I can take the Highland cow over there because it's gonna be on a different side of the basement.
Well, Madison, we're gonna have to do some work. This is not a dad job.
Why can't be a dad job?
No, who else? You better recruit one of these lovely men out here to help you because there's gonna be some lovely moving I have to do.
Hey guys,
I have to move the office to one side and beds and chairs to the other side.
Hey guys, does anybody want to help? I hate moving. Oh man, Easter Billy.
Look at your phone for Easter Billy.
I've been seeing it go off. Oh heck no! Who is this?
What are we looking at?
No, the doll.
Oh, that's
Oh golly.
That's Winnie, ain't it?
Oh my gosh. Apparently that's Billy.
Oh, that's Billy?
Bunny Billy.
Bunny Billy. Why is he wrapped up?
In a cocoon.
I thought that was their doll. Whitney or what was her doll?
I don't know. But
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was their doll.
we have to move stuff around, but
oh man.
we gotta get chairs. I mean, that's really the only thing we gotta get is the chairs.
Wait a minute. She said, hold on. As I said, here's the question. Do you want 100% not haunted doll from new materials or one from the dead person clothing that might be haunted? Definitely the dead person's clothing.
No, you cannot bring that in the house. We cannot bring a haunted doll in this house.
Don't know if it's actually haunted.
But the possibility? No.
Oh, Millie.
No.
No, that's
We
not
have
Millie.
the geisha doll. That's one overstepping it.
The doll is bound to the chair. Ooh, wait a minute.
Oh.
The doll was bound to the chair. The owner had to sign a contract to keep it bound to the chair.
Well,
Does it move?
I vote the haunted doll for your house. You know what? You know what?
Yes.
You know what? I say get the haunted doll, possibly a haunted doll, and we take the spookies and we leave it there. I think that'd be great.
What he says. What he says. Oh, please don't send him a doll. And dead people clothing, please.
Please no.
Can you make me the outfit and I can just change it?
No. Yeah. Oh God.
We going spooky? Are we going to meet Billy? Oh, Billy.
We'll get him a family size bag. No, we're not. You're gonna have to keep it outside in the garage. That thing cannot come in here. What you looking at?
I was reading the comment.
Oh,
She said, I warned for a reason. Also, I can't say it's haunted. Probably not haunted.
But possibly haunted.
Nope.
I don't want to do that. No.
All right, we'll take the normal clothes and we will put her up, him or whatever it is. We will advertise it. You'll hang out.
Yes.
I will have a lovely shelf near me that'll be on camera with some kinds of lovely gifts if anybody wants to send anything.
Yeah. Yours is going to be weird. Mine's going to be cute. It's going to be the same thing we did last time.
Yes. And
Mine
I didn't
cute.
see anybody in here to say they would help you. So it looks like it's going to be me and your job.
Guys, please help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I hate moving things.
We have to move the office over here. On hills in the garage is why cars are not running.
So, question. If I move, I'll make you a bargain.
Uh-oh.
If I help you move, do I get a pink Haunted Soulz flag?
Oh, now I get it. She says haunted dolls are in the garage is why cars are not running.
No, it's just a dumb car.
Yes. So true, Cassie. So true.
I do feel animals too. I do felt animals too. I thought she said I do feel animals.
Barb does. I saw Barb this weekend.
No.
The dog whisperer, the pet whisperer.
I needed her to know what Shaylee thought of Lola.
I didn't tell you a little story about this little boy. So, this little boy, someone on the autistic level,
on the
spectrum, came up to the booth. His dad was trying to do things and stuff, and this kid proceeded to. So I had 2 skulls, 2 mystery machines, 2 ghost stops, and the 2 lamps, right, in a line, and then the Boo Pals, the Squirtle, not Squirtle, the snail-looking Pokemon thing. I can't think of his name. And then
I don't know Pokemon.
Bowser, I don't know, something like that. And then the 2 Stitches. And the boy proceeded to turn on every REM pod, pull the antennas on every REM pod up, and set off everything. He thought it was the greatest thing in the world. He's like,
it's a light show for him.
His dad's like, stop. And he's like, stop touching things, stop doing things. He's like, can I have those? I'm like, no. And then he walked over to like the fidget spinners, the little round thing, the new umbrella ones. Can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this? I'm like, they're like, no, you can't have nothing. And then they left. Barbasor. There it is, Barbasor. Bulbasaur. Yeah. Bulbasaur.
There you go.
Yep, that's it. Bulbasaur.
Everyone's like Bulbasaur.
Yeah, Bulbasaur. It's sold. Anyway, I'm like, he's fine, and everything. And then after I walked away, we're like trying to put all the antennas down.
They're all like
they're going off and stuff. Yeah, it was great. Then we had that little so you guys all know that little tube thing that you're at the top stores that fills
the
up
car
with
stores.
the
car
tuber
washes, yeah.
that moves. So I bought a miniature one, and it stands about this tall, and it does that. I thought, oh, I'll buy it for the table to get people to like come over.
Yeah.
Well, it kept getting hooked on the shelf, so I put it down on the floor. So, like I said, we have been out of the circuit of doing paracons and metaphysical fairs and all kinds of fairs that I literally forgot about tablecloths with the backdrop, covering the stuff because they usually want you to cover your merch and stuff at night. Didn't have a tablecloth long enough for the 8-foot table. They had it half in. So the one guy that does like the your picture of your aura and stuff, he had came over and was like, "Hey man, there's like a big old stack of tablecloths right through those doors right there, man. They're black." So Lodi went back there to get some. And she's like, "Oh, there ain't none there." Well, the guy that's running the event, he's in charge of the event, not Sylvia, but the guy who's in charge of the facility there at the casino. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I'll get you some tablecloths. No problem." He brings us 4 of these tablecloths, and they're like thick. I mean, you held it. It's catering heavy. Ones. It's the catering ones that they use at like their banquets, the big weddings, and they're black. One hangs on the backdrop. We put one, on top of the merch. So we have 4, and I'm like the whole weekend. I'm like, God, these tablecloths, they're so good, and and stuff. So Sunday, the man's walking through the convention, and his son is sitting on the floor for 30 minutes playing with the green tubular dude. It's like, oh, full of air, he snaps back and forth, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "No." I'm like, no, he's fine. He's like, "My son's very autistic. He's nonverbal." Yeah. He's like, he goes, and this like amazes him. It's like, he's like, I never get him to sit down to do something for that long. He's like, he's just mesmerized. Yeah. And I looked at Lodi and I'm like, all right, I'll make a deal with you.
You always go, I'll make a deal with you.
I'll make a deal with you. I said, if you give me 2 tablecloths, I will let your son have that green tubular thing. And the guy said, I'll give you all 4.
He said, this occupies him. I'm going to give you all 4.
He's like, I will give you all 4. And I was like, all right, here, you can take it now. He's like, no, it's fine. You can leave it. I'll come back round through and stuff. And as we were closing up, I unplugged it and was like, here you go. Thank you very much. Now, you felt the tablecloth. They're fucking heavy.
They're heavy.
Heavy tablecloths. So now we have awesome tablecloths, thanks to the green tubular guy. I'm gonna buy one and put it behind here on the podcast. So he's just gonna. They have a ghost one. It's white, and it's a ghost that does it. It's a tubular. Yeah. And I was gonna order those because ghosts and everything, but they don't come out until July. Yeah, so I'll have to buy some in July. But I gotta buy some new ones. Yeah. How do I upload pictures?
On YouTube? On here? You can't.
On here, you can't. You have to send them to us. What kind of pictures are they for? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does.
Be advertised like car salesman.
Oh, Sarah's telling me. Yes.
Bella said, the hotel workers at the fair are so nice. One time I was able to go to the space under the hotel, definitely haunted.
Oh, that's right there. And yeah, it is. That's right. They took you down there. I was there that year. Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah, he was very nice. I got 2 tablecloths. I got to order me some more green tubular guys. Yeah. They were a hit. Everybody loved them.
It'd be cool to get some ghost ones.
Yeah, I'll have to get some in July. I'll order some for them. But yeah, the little green guys are funny. People were talking about him and fix him. He was like hanging on the shelf because he was stuck on the air. Oh man, that was a fun time. It was fun to be back at the metaphysical got to talk to Heidi.
Yeah.
And Christopher.
Yeah.
And stuff. And we were stuck by our favorite person.
Love. But
yes.
Yeah.
Chuck and his.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. You have to email. You can email me at info@hauntedsouls, SOULZ.com. You can email me the pictures and we can check and see what they are and stuff. Chucky and his wife and stuff.
But,
yeah, you can do it. It's about that time, folks.
It's about that time.
Thanks
next
for coming.
week.
What are we doing next week? What is next week?
I think next week. I don't know. We just did a guest.
Did we do a guest?
Bella.
Oh, we did do a guest. Well, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Did a true crime.
Yeah.
Next week.
What do you guys want to do next week?
What do you guys want to have next week?
What do you guys want to do?
Do you want to jam?
Okay, I will.
What do you want? Jab? Do you want another guest?
You're going to do the Lawrence Fair. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
But what do you guys want next week? Get some ideas.
Give me some ideas. What do you guys want to?
What do you guys want to listen to?
TikTok.
What do you guys want to listen to?
What do you guys want us to jabber about?
Do you guys want us to jab? Do you want a guest? Do you Spooky said as long as you're on, don't matter. Some pictures of the doll I'm sending Kenny, but yours will look similar.
Oh, she just sent that picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But you still don't want the dead clothes on them.
No, that's creepy enough for me.
Oh, thanks, Steve. As long as you're on, it don't matter.
He just doesn't want to do laundry. Said I'm up for cryptids. We can talk about Missouri cryptids.
What, Missouri cryptids?
We can totally do that. I don't think we have done. Should we do Missouri or should we just pick like our favorite? Like Midwest Missouri.
You're talking about the green frog, the toads?
No, we've already done that. We can do some.
Let's find some different ones.
I know there's some Ozark ones that are creepy as heck. We can do some. Just wanted to give you choice. Yeah, no, I think we can totally do
Dogman.
Yeah, we can totally do some Missouri ones.
Do some Missouri. Dogman's been spotted in Missouri.
Oh yeah, we can totally do some. Okay, then we'll do some cryptids.
I like.
Ozark Howler. Yeah, there's a lot in Missouri.
I don't think that's a true one, is it?
I don't know. Well, are they really? I think they're all kind of the can't prove it's not real.
Well, yeah, I don't know about the Ozark Howler.
ESPN said I'm basically a cryptid, so that counts, right?
The Ozark Howler.
Well, we can do it. We'll do cryptids. We'll do some Missouri /
Yeah, we'll figure out something.
We'll do some Missouri Midwest cryptids.
Ask us about mouse.
Oh God. Now what? Mouseman.
Mouseman.
Who the hell is Mouseman?
Mouseman.
Who is Mouseman? All right, now I gotta look up Mouseman.
No, that's a joke. I think that's a.
I think you got your guests next week, Laura and Eric from Patriot Paranormal. LOL.
I want cryptids, and we'll do cryptids.
Yep. All right. So next week, cryptids. We'll talk about them. It's something not in our element, so I think it'll be kind of interesting.
You pick one, and I'll pick one.
All right. Cool. We'll talk about the origin, where they're from, evidence, pictures, whatever. We'll do that.
Mouseman is new.
Mouseman is.
Where can I find Mouseman?
All right. Well, thank you everybody else for coming out, listening, watching. For those who are re-listening. Thank you so much. Next week we'll be doing cryptids.
Go get your trivia ticket.
Go get your trivia tickets. They're coming up quick.
Get your raffle
Go
tickets.
get your raffle tickets. And also go just get your tickets. They're $75 right now.
Tickets to all the events, $75.
Yes, that's it.
And then if you talk to me and you want to do St. Joe and Ray County, we'll give you a certain price. We'll give you $100 for both nights.
Yep.
Friday and Saturday, $100. 2 events. Friday night is Ray County Museum. Saturday is Gloria Psychiatric Museum. Come see Ronaldo. And yes, we will. Let me know because that is not on there. And we will have to set you up with a special ticket on that one and everything. Thank you, Isabel.
Yes.
Isabel, thank you. Thank you. Yes, we love the dial. Send us your own creativity, what you think. I love when people just send me creativity on that.
Yes.
Patriot says can send you a photo. Patriot can send you a photo of Mouseman.
Okay.
Says sorry, I don't know why y'all are skipping me.
We don't see any previous from the last time you sent it.
Yeah, I don't see your
Comment.
email or nothing like that.
No.
I'm not trying to skip you, King Edward, at all. Trust me, I don't do that to guests.
Nope.
I haven't seen your email yet. You said print the email. I haven't seen it. I just opened up. As Isabel just sent me an email. I got hers. I didn't get yours. That's info@Haunted Soulz, SOULZ.com.
Yep.
Send me that info and we'll get your picture. We'll talk about it next week if we have to.
Yep.
Checking for the calendar. Have a great night. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Yep. You
Good
heard
night.
it here, folks.
Hey, stay weird.
Bye,
See you
guys.
next